And our news correspondent John McManus has the latest now from New Scotland Yard. John.
Ben, we already know that 4 people have already died this week as a result of stabbings and gun attacks in London, 3 of them teenagers. And of course, the Met said yesterday that 52 people had been killed in the capital since the beginning of the year. 11 of those were teenagers, all dying in violent circumstances, many of them the victims of stabbings. As you say, several more attacks yesterday alone throughout the day and across London. They started at about 10 to 1 in the afternoon yesterday when a man in his 20s was stabbed in Walthamstow, that's northeast London. A few hours later at 5:30 in the evening, a 15-year-old boy was stabbed in Poplar, that's East London. And then about half an hour later, 2 other 15-year-olds were stabbed in Mile End, not very far away, and a 16-year-old was also injured. Those 2 15-year-olds were taken to hospital, as was the 16-year-old who was then arrested. Just before 7, a 13-year-old boy was stabbed in Newham, also East London. He's said to have received critical injuries. And then at 7:05, not too long afterwards, a boy in West London in his late teens was stabbed in Ealing Broadway. And then finally, just after 10 o'clock last night, a man in his 40s was stabbed in Herne Hill, that's in South London. So this violence doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. Scotland Yard and the Metropolitan Police are coming under increasing pressure to do something about it. And this morning they held a meeting in the building behind me to decide what they can do in the short term to tackle this. They've just issued a statement about what happened at that meeting, and they say that they held a community meeting to hear the first-hand concerns from people in the community because of this continued focus on knife crime. And they say that this is their top priority at the moment, and they're dealing with local level engagement using borough commanders and local police officers in the ground in the communities that are being affected. Interestingly, the Met also say that they're absolutely clear that we cannot tackle knife crime alone, in their own words. They say we cannot enforce our way out of this, but we'll do all we can to mobilise communities behind us and to help protect London. Well, one of the people who attended that meeting spoke to us shortly afterwards, Nicola Calico-Miles. She said her own son had been a victim of knife crime. She told us what happened at the meeting.
I have an invested interest as a mother who her child unfortunately was a victim of knife crime, but also I'm a member of London's general and wider public. It's everybody's concern right about now. You know, the knives are not going to differentiate your age, your gender, your you know, how much you make in terms of pay, you know, so it's everybody's problem. And more Londoners you need to recognise this situation may not go away anytime now, but we need to bring the love back to London. And while I draw breath, and God ensures that I draw breath, I should be doing that every day of my natural born life. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Well, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Cressida Dick, says she is taking action in the short term to tackle this problem. She says she has put together a task force of 120 officers to tackle the ongoing violence. She said there'll be more intelligence-led stop and searches as well. Many experts, though, say that the roots of this violence go way back, that they require more intensive focus, more intensive intervention, and that's what many experts will be hoping for from a range of authorities, and they hope that this will have an effect and stop this violence, bring it to an end. Ben.
John, thank you. That's John McManus reporting there from Scotland Yard. And just to say, after 11:30.